So how exactly is the best way to save seeds, and which types of plants are the best plants to save seeds from? That's what we're going to find out this evening on Nature's Mysteries Medicine Show, Types of Plants and Pollinators, episode 25. So welcome tonight, and we appreciate you for wanting to take your knowledge of seed saving a little further. I'm Michele Wildflower. I'm the Director of Education and founder and formulator for Nature's Mysteries Apothecary, and I welcome you this evening learning about how to save seeds. Not only is it fun to save seeds, which is why I like to do it, but it's also helping you to be self-sustainable. It helps you have a connection with the earth and your plants. It also helps to sorry about that. It also helps to save you money because, some seed packs are kind of expensive, right? So if you could just save your own seeds, and then you know what they were grown in. So there's a few reasons to do it. And what the idea that I like the most, I think, is that when you save the seeds and then when you grow them again the next year, they're kind of like your grand plants, right? So I have grandchildren, so to me it's funny idea to think of having grand plants too. So yeah, and you know where the plants were grown, you know what they were grown in, this time and this period of history, it's really important to know what the food that you're growing or the herbs that you're using, which is your medicine, is grown in, because unfortunately they could say that it's organic and it not really necessarily. And of course it would be found out later because the organic standards are strict and everything. But, that happened years ago with like milk, where this organic milk company was found out that she had actually been using a fertilizer that wasn't organic. And, I'm not saying that she did it intentionally or anything like that. But if you're saving your own seeds from your own plants, then you know that they're non-GMO, you know that there hasn't been any chemical fertilizers or pesticides put in the soil, you know that there's been healthy organisms in there that have been nurturing those plants and helping them grow. You're increasing the yield, and year after year, if you save your own seeds, it'll be, when you save the healthiest ones, it's a way of building kind of like your own strain. And these seeds are specially adapted and optimized for your specific environment, which tends to mean higher germination rates and bigger harvests, as well as less disease, right? Which is what we want. So it also allows you the opportunity, to have your own seeds that, like I said, you have your grand plants that the next year you could save seeds and you could pass those seeds down for generations and have your own heirloom seeds, right? And what the first thing that you want to do when you are going to save seeds is, okay, we'll write it down for you. How does this sound so far? Is this making sense for you? You can type yes in the comments, type seeds in the comments if you've ever saved seeds before. And saving seeds, and we're going to put in there the types of plants. So, messed it up a little bit. Types of plants. Okay, so first what you want to know is if you have an open pollinated plant or an heirloom plant or a hybrid plant. Okay, so we'll write that down. So is it a hybrid? Or is it an heirloom? Or, let's use purple for the open heirloom. Or are they open pollinated? And so let's talk about the differences between those for a little bit. So hybrid seeds would be seeds that they're not like genetically modified, like so to speak, but they are plants that have been combined by man. So they're plants that wouldn't necessarily have, mixed in the natural environment. So there is that intervention from people. So this one has man's intervention. Okay. And heirloom seeds are going to be the ones that we were talking about, that someone actually made sure to get seeds from the strongest plants, the most healthy, and then they save those seeds for generations and pass them down, and that's what heirloom seeds are. So they're seeds that, I use the right color, that have been passed down, and they're from very healthy plants. From healthy plants. And then, can you guys see that? Okay, good. Oh, I was supposed to, okay, good. And then open pollinated is going to be plants that, those are going to be the ones, I mean, heirloom and open pollinated are going to be the ones that you're going to want to definitely be saving. The heirlooms are also open pollinated, but heirlooms are open pollinated, but not all open pollinated are heirlooms, right? Do you understand that? So open pollinated and heirlooms are going to be the ones that you want to be saving seeds from. So save these seeds from these and from these. But from hybrid, you don't want to be saving seeds from hybrid plants, because the plant that you grow, if you save those seeds and you planted it again, it would revert back to one of the original plants that was used in making that hybrid. So it wouldn't necessarily, or it could be some kind of strange combination. So you want to make sure that you're saving seeds from the hybrids or open pollinated, because those will be the most productive for your seed saving choices. And hybrid seeds, oh, okay, so I wanted to show you actually on some seed packs. These are kind of old. Sorry, let's just move this out of the way for a minute. And I wanted to show you, these are kind of old, they're a little beat up, but so it's gonna say it right there. See, it says heirloom right there. So that's how you can find out if what you're growing is open pollinated or heirloom. Here's some poppy seeds that I had, and this doesn't say it right on the front. You can look and see, it's kind of hard to see, but if you look on the back, you can see right there. Can you see that? Right there, it says open pollinated. I don't know if you can see it, but you can trust me. And this one actually says open pollinated right there. And the cucumbers, they say open pollinated. And you don't, and hybrid seeds will actually say F1, and that's short for filial 1, which essentially means it's the first generation of a plant from 2 crossbred parent plants. And as for GMO seeds, you don't really need to worry too much about growing those, because usually they're like sold to bigger companies directly from like Monsanto, and the farmer typically will be more like a large scale monoculture crop farmer. So they're not just on the shelves at your local store, so you don't really need to worry about that, which is kind of nice to know, right? So you're going to want, the other question is whether they are cross-pollinating or whether they're self-pollinating. So cross-pollinating plants will be a little harder to save seeds from. Not saying that you can't do it, but it's just a little harder. You know, like let's think of some cross-pollinators that would be like squash plants are cross-pollinators. Like, have you ever planted 2 squash plants, or like cucumber and squash, and then have them kind of mix together and make their own kind of squashy cucumber? So that's kind of like a hybrid plant, right? It's not genetically modified because it wasn't made in a lab or anything like that, but it can crossbreed. And so those cross pollinators, like I said, it'll be a little bit more difficult to save seeds from them. So what you really want to save seeds from are self-pollinating plants, because those will be the easiest ones for you. They fertilize themselves, and it takes a lot of time and effort if you're doing it with cross-pollinating plants. So if you use self-pollinating, that will be your best choice. The breed will be truer. Their offspring will be the same as the plant that you planted, that you saved them from. And some self-pollinating plants include beans and peas and lettuce and peppers and tomatoes. And we're actually going to be learning about saving those seeds in the next few episodes. So tonight we wanted to go over the types of plants so that you can try to figure that out. And then on next week's episode, we'll be talking about saving seeds from the different types, like tomatoes and peppers and beans and peas. So you'll want to tune in for the next couple weeks to see what's the best way to do that. And if you wanted to learn a little bit more about seed saving, I wrote about it in my book, Discover the Essence of Plant Medicine, the 5 Principles of Life-Saving Herbs, Cannabis Edition. And we profiled actually 33 different herbs. We go over growing, harvesting, storing, preparations, applications. We learn a little bit about biodynamic gardening and how to garden with the moon, and how to save seeds, and when's the best time to harvest your plants so that you'll have the optimum duration of aroma and color and potency as well. So there's a lot to learn. We go over, there's a whole chapter about cancer. There's a chapter about pet cancer. There's also a chapter about herbs for children. So if you're a parent or someone who's interested in helping people with their children's health and guiding them on the road of having natural remedies to offer their children instead of ones that have debilitating side effects that probably haven't been tested on children, because the ones that your doctors are prescribing couldn't have been tested on children, because that would be illegal and unethical, right? So we want to make sure that we can offer our children some herbal remedies that will alleviate their symptoms but not mask it, so that our bodies can do what they need to do. And if you would like to learn more about this and how to help people feel better, you could join our Holistic Health Practitioner program, which will begin we're in the middle of a session now, our fall session. And our winter session will begin January 25th. It's 12 weeks, and at the end of the 12-week program, you can apply to become a board-certified holistic health practitioner. And we're accredited with the American Association of Drugless Practitioners. So there's a lot of schools out there that are offering programs, but for me, I wanted to have the accreditation behind us so that upon completion, you can have more than just a certificate of completion. You can actually have that board certification. So if that's something that interests you, you can go to naturesmysteries.com. We have scholarships available and payment plan options. And we'll look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. when we're exploring seed saving and specific plants, how to save the seeds from them. Tonight we learned the types of plants, and next week we'll be learning how to seed save Actually, don't quote me on it. I can't remember if it's tomatoes or peppers or if it's beans and peas. But one week is one and the other week is the other one. So we'll hope to see you. And I'll also be sharing over the next few days before the next episode, saving seeds from other plants that aren't in your garden. So you can stay tuned for those. And that might be something else that interests you, how you can save seeds from some other plants. Okay. Congratulations for learning about seed saving, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon. Discover the essence of seed medicine.